What's happening here? Airplanes can also release water. They can spray water not just from above and below, but also from the front and the back. Regardless of how they release it, they're all known as firefighting planes, though their methods differ. The plane that releases water from its belly is a traditional firefighting plane. It has a small catch basin at the bottom, and the pilot maneuvers the plane to skim the water's surface. During this maneuver, water is collected into the tanks through the catch basin. When the plane reaches the fire site, it opens up to release water from its belly. Upon reaching the fire, the flaps on the plane's belly are opened, releasing tons of water to extinguish the fire quickly. The forward and backward water jets were modifications made to passenger planes when they were first introduced. After removing all the seats, a large tank was installed inside, capable of holding 10 tons of water. This tank was then connected to a water pipeline on one side of the plane, allowing it to collect water for firefighting. After returning to the airport, the aircraft replaced its water tank with a new one, allowing it to continue extinguishing fires efficiently. Meanwhile, the cargo ship experienced a sudden split in the middle, causing all the bricks in the hold to tumble into the sea. To onlookers unaware of its design, it might have seemed like an accident. However, this ship's ability to split in half is precisely what makes it unique. Known as a folio mooring, this special vessel primarily transports sand and gravel, much like a tractor operates on land. The ship's purpose isn't to transport these materials to the shore but rather to the sea, moving various types of sand and water to designated areas. Ultimately, it aids in reclaiming sea and land. The reason the ship doesn't sink after splitting and even when seawater floods the cabin is due to its design. It's not a single, complete ship but consists of two sealed halves joined together. A hydraulic cylinder is positioned between them. When the ship reaches the designated area, this hydraulic cylinder is activated to separate the two halves, opening them from the bottom of the ship. This deliberate opening allows it to perform its unique function. A chute, 1 meter wide, is crafted to pump mud into the water. After removing the mud, the hydraulic cylinders retract 2.5 times. The hull closes, returning to shore to reload sand. This sand-to-sand cycle repeats until the sea becomes a landmass. Then, it rocks back and forth like a rowboat. A crossbill across your chest lets you travel swiftly over train tracks. This little car, costing $2 per 100 kilometers, was named the man-powered railroad car, invented for railroad maintenance. Back when trains were new and railway tech immature, trains stopped on a specific day weekly for track maintenance. Walking wasn't feasible for such long tracks, so the cart, perfectly fitted to the railway track, emerged. It had 3 wheels, 2 under the driver's seat and another next to it, designed for track use. On the rail located at the side of the hooker's chest, the cross sheet is attached to the drive lever below. By pushing the cross sheet back and forth, the drive lever is moved, allowing it to spin the wheels. When a problematic rail is identified, the hooker applies the brakes by pulling the handbrake at the back. In the future, a 4-wheeled version was also developed. This advancement significantly increased the speed while also allowing more people to be loaded. Hundreds of rotors pull the threads around the bow at a high speed, causing all the threads to intertwine at the center, forming a web. This web is not ordinary but is a carbon fiber web. This complex thread is referred to as carbon fiber weaving, and its purpose is to add a layer of carbon fiber web to the bow and arrow's surface, enhancing the arrow's strength and toughness. Each rotor directs a carbon fiber kill thread, and each of these carbon fiber kill threads consists of numerous different fibers. Thousands of carbon fiber monofilaments are used to form the rotor. Upon close inspection, it is easy to see that the rotor rotates around the frame in an S-shaped trajectory. The carbon fibers in the web will be attached to the surface of the arrow. At the same time, the arm of the stacking machine clamps the head of the arrow. Depending on the speed of the weaving, the bell is dragged outward at a uniform pace, and the carbon fiber is tightly applied to the surface regardless of the bell's shape. When the weaving is complete, the excess is cut off, and the bell is complete. In fact, this is what the machine looks like when it's being inspected. Its real job is to clear the snow from the airfield, and as it sails down the runway, the spinning vanes in front of it roll the blood of the chickens into the machine, and then the large horsepower blower on top of the machine pulls the blood from the chickens into the water. Blood is blown to the side of the runway. The main goal was to clean up the blood in the shortest possible time and get the airport back up and running smoothly. Additionally, there is another machine that looks similar, although it only has 2 extra small blades. However, the snow removal effect has been greatly improved. Just by observing the height of the snow sprayed from the machine, you can tell that it is not ordinary. It can reach a maximum speed of 70 kilometers per hour and can clear 75 tons of snow per hour. A slit on the side reveals an interior filled with mud. This soil is not preloaded but gradually accumulates inside. The name of the bag is Geotechnical Dewatering Bag. The main purpose of the bag is twofold. One is to filter the mud and sand from the water stream, and the other is to keep the filtered mud and sand in place to build a riverbank. This expanding foam is used to transport the mud that needs to be removed from the reservoir into a specially designed bag made of permeable fiber, which functions as a filter. As the mud flows inside the bag, it becomes trapped, allowing only clean water to flow out. Gradually, the mud accumulates and forms a large bag. If needed, workers will either hit the bag with a stick or stand on it to help push the water out of the bag. By keeping these bags in place, the embankment can be reinforced. Workers step on the dense lumps, which are initially soft but soon harden into rock. This forms a strong, waterproof mortar that is then cemented into the dugout, resulting in a long-lasting and durable drainage system. With enough space left on the inside to connect a sand slurry delivery line, the blanket is rapidly filled with sand slurry, which then gradually puffs up like a balloon, forming raised bumps on the surface of the blanket. During this process, the worker will occasionally kick at the bumps in order to check that the sand channels are filled securely. When fully recharged, the blanket will solidify in a short period of time and take shape. Drainage construction stone is short. Drainage quality is high. These raised bumps also resist erosion by water flow and prolong the life of the drains. This is a miraculous liquid which, when poured into a dugout pit, immediately begins to expand and eventually solidifies into a solid foam that holds the stakes firmly in the ground, so that even if you were to hit it hard with a hammer, it would be difficult to shake it. This innovative expanding foam has been specifically designed for setting various types of stumps and is proven to be more than twice as effective as traditional concrete. It's incredibly easy to use. The process involves a bag that contains 2 separate liquids. When you place a centrally positioned slanted glass back onto a sloping edge and squeeze it back and forth, the 2 liquids mix thoroughly. Once mixed, they are poured into the pre-dug pit. Upon contact with the air, these liquids rapidly expand into bubbles, filling the hole to a depth of 60 centimeters. Eventually, they solidify into a foam that securely holds the stump in place. In comparison, a mud fix pile can be easily dislodged from a round wall by simply shaking it vigorously for a short period. This solidified foam, however, is lightweight yet durable enough to withstand the pressure of an automobile. Additionally, due to its hydrophobic nature, encasing the pile in this foam prevents any underground vapor from affecting the wood by floating on it.